Hey travelers, welcome back to another episode of Canadian Star Wars Outpost. If you're new to the channel, my name is Greg, and I really appreciate a like and subscribe to help grow the channel a little bit more. Today we'll have the Dark Series Mandalorian Dark Saber to go over today, so I just bought this today. And ran in Canada about $4.29, but if you have an account, like a silver account at EB Games, you actually get 10% off, so I ended up paying just over $400 with it after tax. But let's open this up and get a closer look at the box. All right, everyone, so let's just take a quick overview of the box. So as you can see, this is the Star Wars The Black Series Force FX Elite Mandalorian Dark Saber. So on the front, you can obviously see the Mandalorian and Moff Gideon. And then just the overview of the lighting of the saber itself and what the saber looks like out of the box. And if we turn this around quickly, obviously just some more in-depth information. So obviously just what the blade looks like. So we have, progression ignition, bright white LED, advanced LEDs, and authentic Darksaber sound effects, how the saber connects, an overview view of the saber and the lights on the bottom there. And on the end, the stand, what the saber comes with. So let's open it up and see what comes inside. So once you cut all the tape lines on all the corners, this guy here just pops out. And then on the side, you just pull these guys open, one on each side. And here it is. So obviously from what we can see, everything is tied down with plastic. So I'm gonna cut this off and cut all this stuff out and lay it all out. But we have the stand here, and underneath this piece of cardboard, you have your Darksaber and your instruction manual, and I'm assuming the blade is underneath all of this stuff. So I'm going to continue opening it, and then I'll show you what we have out. All right, Travis, so upon opening, the nice thing is when you're opening the box, it's actually not plastic, it's twine or some kind of rope, so everything unties really easily, but this is everything that comes in the box. So you have your Darksaber and your stand, your blade, your charging cord, and your Allen key to get the blade in and out, and your instruction manual. So I'd love to take a closer look with the saber, so let me just bring it up there so you guys can take a look at it. This thing is surprisingly heavy. When you pick up the box, you can kind of feel the weight, but you see where all the weight is when you pick this thing up. Everything else is extremely light. It's all in the hilt itself. So let's take a closer look at this guy. All right, travelers, so here is the hilt up close. As you can see, the front to the end, and let me tell you, this thing looks super smooth. It is incredibly heavy. Like, this is where all the weight comes from. The nice thing about this, I feel like they killed the colors, especially from the series, with the gray highlights in the handle. And on top of that, the one reason I bought this over the Disney one is that all 4 lights actually light up. The Disney one is only 2. So Disney rates compared to this guy, I believe that Disney on the website on Shop Disney is $219.99 right now. It could be $249, but I believe it's $219. And then I'll compare that right now to Canadian costs. And this guy in Canada for Hasbro is $428. And honestly, from all the reviews I've seen, this hilt is much better. It could be a little bit louder, but I'll show you how to plug this guy in and get it all set up. So this is what it looks like on the stand. And as I said before, this part of the blade of the pommel actually sticks through the stand, so it actually sits on there pretty sturdy. But if you want to use it for play fighting and stuff like that, this is how the blade goes in. So take the hilt out, and there is actually a little screw just right here. This is what the Allen key is for, so you pop the guy in here to loosen her up. This screw comes out all the way. I was a little confused at first when I first opened it, but the screw actually comes out all the way. You slide the top, the emitter part, off, and you take out the blade plug. The blade then just plugs in through the top, like so. This goes back over and covers, and then you put the screw back in, So I think that's one of the advantages Disney has over these guys. This takes a lot of work to set up, whereas Disney's, I believe, just plugs in. But that is all there is to it. So now you have the blade in and it's ready to go. So to turn this guy on, there's two buttons here. There's one for the blaster defects and the tip drag. And then you just turn it on by holding this dark button. So you do so, and there you have it. It's on. So swing movement, it's not too bad. I would agree with a lot of the other reviews is that it is pretty quiet. If you're not covering it, it's not too bad. I don't really have a lot of room to swing it around here, but you kind of get some movements out of it. Then you have your blaster deflects and your tip drag. You hold it, and some flash effects. You have to give it a pretty good shake, but again, I don't have a lot of room to swing it without hitting something. It's a pretty tight apartment, but that is the gist of it. And then you just hold it for like a second to turn it off. Yeah, so let's take it apart again and then put it on the stand and do a total overview. All right, travelers, so this is the darkness test. So I'm in my bathroom right now. It's the darkest place I have in my house that I can get. So I'm just gonna turn this guy on and see how bright this thing actually gets. Here we go. This thing is pretty bright. Give it that. So some of the rumors I've heard with the Disney one is actually the light doesn't go all the way up to the tip, but it seems to have done that with this guy. It is incredibly bright. It's not too bad. I actually am pretty impressed with it. So let's continue. All right, travelers, so we'll take one more close look at the hilt, but this is everything that comes inside the box. So if you take a little bit closer look at the hilt on the stand, so this is the overall look. I did notice at the bottom in the pommel, there's actually a hole for you to fit a D-ring. So that is one of the things I kind of wish they included on this guy with some kind of, belt clip or, a D-ring. So if you wanted to, cosplay with it, you could, but I mean, it looks like you can just add a D-ring to it. But yeah, overall, I think this saber looks really nice. It's great for display. And the one thing I noticed with swinging around, compared to the Disney ones, I've seen a lot of reviews where basically it seems very flimsy. The blade in this guy is actually pretty stiff. It's actually not too bad. So it could take a little bit of damage if you wanted to play around with it. But as a display piece, this looks incredibly nice. So there you have it, guys. This is the Mandalorian Dark Saber by Hasbro, the Black Series Force Effects Elite. So tell me what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.